Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? So the other day in a video, I showed you guys pictures that were sent in by a community member who lives in Kentucky, and she sent me pictures of the aurora, aurora, okay, aurora borealis. Yeah.
Just say
Okay.
Northern Lights.
Northern Lights. Right on, Sean. And I was getting emails from you guys. And so I'm going to go over the emails that you guys sent in to me because you guys brought up some really great points. So this first email says, as we both know, the government and media told us a solar flare had occurred to expect the Northern Lights. Does anyone believe they tell us the truth? Of course not. Hello. So she goes on to say, what we saw was not the normal Northern Lights, though. What we saw were beautiful glows. Northern Lights generally are streaks in the sky in a downward direction, and attached is a screenshot. So I'm going to start showing you guys some stuff, okay? And she also sent in other screenshots that I'm going to show you as well. She said in 1962, our government did Operation Fishbowl. They literally blew off nuclear bombs in the sky above us, multiple ones, basically EMPs, which have the same effects as a massive solar flare that is hitting Earth. They too created fake auroras. Whatever. Those look similar to what we saw, beautiful glows. With all the war talk concerning NATO and other locations, would they test to see if our grid and other things are hardened? I believe so, 100%. Yeah. She said, I know 3 states had power losses, and I know out here in Portland, Oregon, lost the weather radar. If they did test, we wouldn't know for at least 50 years when the information gets declassified. Just a thought, but if correct, we should know. Okay, so here are the screenshots, okay? So this first one that she sent in says, effects on space and Earth's magnetosphere, artificial radiation belts, high energy particles from the blasts were trapped in Earth's magnetic field, creating artificial radiation belts that lasted for months or years. Satellite damage. These radiation belts damaged or destroyed several satellites, including the Telstar satellite, which was hit with 100 times more radiation than expected. Artificial auroras. The charged particles from the explosions caused widespread brilliant artificial auroras to appear in the northern and southern conjugate regions, visible as far away as New Zealand and the Hawaiian Islands. Effects on Earth's surface and technology. Electromagnetic pulse, or EMP. The Starfish Prime detonation produced a powerful EMP that disabled electronic equipment and communication systems. Widespread disruption. In Hawaii, the EMP knocked out streetlights, set off car alarms, and disrupted telephone and microwave links. So the next thing that she sent in is this. And this is the overview. You see the aurora, what she was talking about with the streams when it looks like they're coming down, right? It says an aurora is a natural light display in Earth's sky, predominantly observed in high latitude regions around the Arctic and Antarctic. The terms northern lights and southern lights are used and then it just stops. So the next one is Operation Fishbowl's effects, which included the creation of artificial radiation belts that damaged satellites, the generation of large-scale artificial auroras visible across the Pacific, and the production of powerful electromagnetic pulses that disrupted electrical systems and communications here on Earth. And here is another picture of what was similar to what she had sent in before. Okay, and here's more. Okay, so you see those. So now I'm going to share with you, okay, what else was sent in. She said, add this to the fishbowl. And I said, okay. So you see this? It says major solar flare triggers global radiation spike. UD physicists watching one of the biggest solar events in nearly 20 years. And this was dated as of November 12th, 2025 at 10:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So then the next one that was sent in is an email. And she says, Operation Fishbowl, U.S. nuclear test, U.S. nuclear nuclear testing photographs, media gallery. They claim that we watched the aurora borealis. Take a good look at the test pictures. We may see Operation Fishbowl 2.0. So, if you are not aware of what Operation Fishbowl is, okay, which I just talked about it just a little bit, okay, it talks about Thor missile being launched, warheads detonated over very high altitudes, which is anywhere from 30 to 248 miles up, to evaluate the destructive mechanisms and effects of high-yield explosions against ballistic missile RVs. Several test failures occurred with the missiles being destroyed in flight by range safety officers when electronics failed, when rocket motors malfunctioned, or when the missile veered out of control. So, could there be a 2.0? I don't see why not. You know, could they revisit something like this? Absolutely. This is the messed up government that we're dealing with, you know, and that we have been dealing with for decades. You know, Operation Fishbowl took place in 1952. And, you know, this is something that absolutely could definitely 100% take place. Absolutely 110%. Yeah. Because they are, this government, not just this administration, I'm talking about past administrations. They don't know how to keep their sticky fingers out of anything. They can't leave well enough alone. And that's exactly what's happening. Okay. And because our grid is the weakest link, they're going to fuck around and find out. And that's going to be what takes us down, this country. So, of course, Operation Fishbowl 2.0, no doubt. All right, guys, that's all I have for today's video. I will see you in the next one, okay? You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fear less and God bless. Ciao.